Hi felters and crafters, and welcome. Today we're going to talk about the temperature blanket. I think you can see it out of the corner of your eye. We're going to talk about the good, the bad and the ugly. So the blanket is done, it's finished. I started in January 2024 and I finished in March 2025. So 2.5 months slightly past the end of the year. There's reasons why and I will explain. I followed a tutorial by Camryn's Cute Creations. I will link it down below on exactly how to do a temperature blanket. And I used Heartland Lion brand wool and I used a 6.5mm Clover and More hook. So what is a temperature blanket? Well, basically it's a blanket where you do a row each day and the colour of the wool is designated by the temperature. Now, you don't do different coloured wools for every single day because otherwise you'd have like 30 or 40 different colours. And you could do, but it would be a lot of wool that you'd have to purchase. So what you do is you band together, so 0 to 2, 3 to 5, 6 to 8 and upwards. So I had 10 colours, I think, in all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 10, 11, 12 colours in all. And so you can put your colours together and see what they're going to look like. So the colder months, the warmer months, and then the really hot months. So that's how it was done. I am a beginner crocheter. Well, I was when I started, I have to say, and it's really evident in the footage. I'm going to show you the footage of the blanket throughout the year because I have studio vlogs. I am a needle felter and I make needle felted items primarily, even though I've got an octopus, but I'm loving my crochet. So I was a very beginner crocheter and I thought this would be a really good challenge for me to do. So let me show you all the footage I've got through the year.
Wasn't I meant to lie in your arms here for a while? I'm alive and I take you in. I've been falling, when I reach out, you will hold on. Was it a rainbow falling? Was it a rainbow falling? When I touch you, it will break through. Was it a rainbow falling? Was it a rainbow falling? Oh, was it a rainbow falling? And I'm falling, calling. When I reach out, you will hold on. Was it a rainbow falling? Was it a rainbow falling? When I touch you, it will break through. Was it a rainbow falling? Was it a rainbow falling? I've been falling and I've been calling. Oh, was it a rainbow falling?
I did really well with keeping up to date with it until I got to about, well, I actually started to struggle after summer. And there's reasons why, I'll tell you in a sec. And then I had 2 really big needle felting shows that I was doing. And the second one was mid-October. And so I stopped and gave up mid-October. And that's why I'm sort of 2.5 months late finishing it. But that's the beauty of it. You don't have to finish it on time. Please don't push yourself to do that because you're supposed to enjoy it. So this blanket is 250 stitches across, 365 rows down. It is a total, because I did a little border as well, of 92,480 stitches. This is massive. I've weighed it. It weighs nearly half a stone. It is huge. I'm going to put the measurements up here because we've had it on the bed and I haven't measured it properly. I do love having it on the bed though. It's absolutely beautiful. However, this project is big. Before you start, or even if you have started, try and think about what you're going to do with it, because the effort to make this is big. So you have to really think about where it's going to go in your house, or if it's a gift for someone. On a bed is fantastic. It could go on the back of a sofa. This is not a little lap blanket for one person. This is a lap blanket for 4 people. It is so, so big. So before you start, really plan where it's going to go in the house, and then I would say do the colours off that room that you're going to have it in, and do the colours to whatever goes in that room, so you definitely use it. I'm really fortunate we have some orange in our room. I didn't really plan at all before I started where this was going to go, but once I'd got halfway through the year, it was obvious it was going to have to go on a bed. I'll show you it on the bed now. You can have a little look. So our bedroom has got grey in it and some orange and yellow. So luckily the green sort of ties in quite well with it. We're really fortunate there. So the 95 inches by 73, just to give you a rough idea, is 7'11" by 6'1". And when I showed you the photo in August, it was the other way round, where the stripes were going up the bed. But because it's so big, the edges have to go over the sides. It comes right down over the sides. That is how big it is, and that's the border. So I was really pleased with the border. I definitely recommend doing a border, and you could do it even a bit bigger. I watched a couple of shorts before I made this video, and one of the shorts said temperature blanket, don't do it. Then another one said 95% of people don't finish their temperature blanket. I don't think it's that high, but I can understand why people wouldn't finish it. So it was great in the beginning. It was not a problem, and I had it on my chair where I sit in the evenings, and it was just a small project, and then it grew and grew and grew. And this is part of the issue. In summer it was really hot and quite hard work to crochet with this great big blanket, and then as it got even bigger, it's such an effort to pull out that you can't just sit down and do one row wherever you want. You can't take it anywhere. It's like when I sat down to do it, I would have to do like 5 rows or something, because I was on catch up as well. So like I said, I started it in January, finished it in March, because as I got through the year, I was keeping up to date till about August, not a problem. And then I had 2 massive needle felting shows, because I'm a needle felter primarily on this channel, and I just couldn't keep up with it. I kept falling a week behind, 2 weeks behind, and that wasn't really a problem. The maximum number of rows I could do in any one day easily was about 5 to 7, so I could catch up, and then I really fell behind. The maximum number of rows I ever did in a day was 12 rows, which is 3,000 stitches. It takes me about 15 minutes per row. I didn't think my crochet had got faster, but when I see the footage of me at the beginning, I was really slow. So I think it really helped me get speedier with my crochet stitches. And it's such a one stitch thing. It's so mindless that's lovely. But when I really fell behind in October, mid-October, I just stopped, and I said, it's fine. Please don't beat yourself up about it. If you fall behind, just put it aside and you will catch up with it at some point. And so towards the end of doing this, I almost resented having to do it because it was so heavy and so cumbersome to sort of pick up. I wanted to just take my little project bag and sit down and do crochet somewhere else, but I had to do it in that chair. And when I sat down, like I said, I had to do at least sort of 3 or 4 rows for it to be worthwhile. In November, I nearly frogged it. I had a really sort of a big sit down and looked at it, tried it on the bed and thought, are we definitely going to use it? And I spoke to the family and they all said, no, you have to finish it, because it was like towards the end. So I did finish it, and I'm really pleased that I did finish it in the end. I would have had a lot of wool that I wouldn't have known what to do with. So I'm glad I didn't frog it. With the wool that I purchased, I was proactive in the colours that I ordered. And I would say that's wrong. I would say you need to be reactive. It's almost okay to be a week behind. Make sure, number one, you choose colours you really like I said. Choose a wool that is not expensive. I will do the cost in a minute. A wool around about the £2 or £3 would be much better. I think this Lion brand is about £5 to £6, and I could only get this in the US. I could get it over here, but it was really expensive over here, so I kept ordering, and it was sent over from the US, so I've got all of that postage cost as well. And then because I thought, right, so I've got my colours, and I'll order, I think I ordered like 2 of every colour. I thought, right, that should do me for a while, and it did, but actually I needed to order more of the greens and some more of those. We never got into the purples. It never got to the 30 degrees. I can't really believe it. And that's another thing to do with the temperature that you use. So I use the temperature at about 1 p.m. during the day. Don't use the average temperature because it's a lot lower and you're never going to get up to those higher temperatures and you're never going to get that good range. So I would go for something between 1 and 4 p.m. where the temperature is a little bit higher. So I proactively ordered all of those balls of wool, and I've still got quite a few left. I am going to sell them. They're all in there. Whoops. So I will recoup some of the costs, hopefully, but I'm going to give you the costs with all of the cost of those extra wools that I've got. So like I said, almost be a week behind, and then when the temperature has gone past, you know that you need that colour, so that's fine. So be reactive, don't be proactive and order everything straight away. So the cost, it was, like I said, these balls are about £5 or £6, and I got them from America. And I've gone through all, I felt as the year went on, I was ordering loads of wool for it, and I was really worried. I thought in my head it was like £400. It's not. It's still 225 at least, but hopefully I'm going to get some money back from those guys. So I had it on the bed, I think in August, and my husband was looking at it. He said, "Oh, that is a lovely blanket. Someone would pay a lot of money for that." And I was thinking, yeah, but would they? Would they pay £220, 225 for this blanket when you can go and buy a blanket for your bed, really nice one, for about 80 to 100? Yeah, so it's expensive. Choose a slightly cheaper wool and try and work out if that wool is durable and is fine for being on the bed. I did notice as I was doing, I'll show you the border. So I'm really pleased I did the border. I'll show you some close-ups of it. So I was very pleased as I did the border because the bottom of the blanket where I'd started was getting quite scuffed, and so the border neatened it up. So I definitely recommend doing a border, and that's just so the stitch, I'm not sure if it's UK or US, I'm so bad with stitch names, was single crochet, and then I did a double crochet on the outside, and it didn't take long, and it really finishes it off nicely. And I chose a colour I had a lot of, basically, because I didn't want to purchase any more wool. Do weave in your ends as you go. That is a big one. Do not leave your ends till the end. You will absolutely hate, unless you like doing it that way. I didn't mind doing the ends. I had a pair of scissors and a needle right by my seat the whole time. The only issue I did have is that the ends I've weaved in, sometimes they stick out. Like I said, I haven't been crocheting that long. If anyone's got any tips on what I can do, because if I trim it, it goes through to the other side after a while. So it's not awful, it's not that bad, but it's just sometimes they do look a little bit messy. Maybe there's a better way of weaving in the ends, because I am quite novice with it, but weave in your ends as you go. I feel this blanket, is there any way to make it smaller? Not really, because 250 stitches across, if you made it 200, it's going to be a long, narrow, because it's going to be 365 going down the rows. So if you did it half, it would just be a long, narrow blanket. And I don't think, unless that was to go over the back of a sofa or something, I don't think that would look right. So I do think it's got to be the 250 stitches across. But on that note of doing a temperature blanket, there are lots of other things that I think you should do first before you launch into one of these, if you have any doubts about them. Elise Rose Crochet, she talks about several things that you can make through crochet with temperatures. Things like temperature scarf. She did a temperature snake, she mentioned, which is quite an interesting one because it You know, it's quite a long snake, but it could be as wide or as small as you want it to be. And along with that, I thought maybe you could do a temperature draft excluder, especially if you've got double doors, but just choose a really small wool. This wool, sorry, is a size 4. Okay, so that's the size of it, and that's, you know, how big it ends up. So choose a finer wool, maybe that would be better. Other temperature blankets that you can do is you can do a square for each month, or you can do a granny square. You could do different stitches, different rows with different stitches for different temperatures, especially if you've got lots of wool in the same colour. I really like the idea of that. And the other thing I've heard about recently is Ali from Little Drops of Wonderful. She's doing a temperature cross stitch. So it's not crochet, but it's a completely different way of recording the temperature for the year, which is a bit smaller. But I think if you were thinking of doing this and you had some doubts over the cost and the effort that you've got to put in, do a temperature scarf, because that would be great. Choose a wool a bit smaller than a 4, I would say a 2 or a 3. I'm not sure on wool sizes, but just to give you the idea, you know, that's quite thick. And give it a go and try a temperature scarf, because you'll pretty much definitely achieve that. So in brief, if you're going to go ahead with a temperature blanket, choose wool colours you really like, know where it's going to go, choose a wool that's slightly cheaper and easily available in your country, not one that goes out of stock a lot. Weave in your ends as you go, and don't beat yourself up if you fall behind. It's absolutely fine. You will finish it at some point. So would I do it again? Not for a while. Am I going to do some sort of other temperature related thing? Not this year, but definitely maybe next year. I think I really enjoyed the fact that I finished such a long project, even though I did nearly frog it. So that was my experience with a temperature blanket. I recommend giving it a go at least once in your life if you are interested in doing one, but bear all those things in mind. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you again soon.